Y'all know who it is, Trust Trucker. Y'all, I ain't been on here in like 2+ weeks, but I'm back with a video, y'all. Not a good video at all either, y'all. Man, stay tuned. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, y'all. Yep, I have been MIA for over 2 weeks. Just kind of down in the dumps, I guess you could say. It's a part of trucking. One thing I'll tell you, I miss being in my Coronado. I mean, it's nice having a company truck where they're responsible for all the repairs and breakdowns and everything, oil changes and stuff. But I have to say, I'm really wish I was back in the Coronado. But here's the thing about being in a company truck. I got this right here. This is a bill from Ed's 24-hour service in Findlay, Ohio, y'all. Yep. But it wasn't all Kim's bill. It was my bill. Let me show you what happened right here. Jeffrey broke down. He was 30 miles from the customer up there he was delivering in Fremont, Ohio. This happened the Friday before Labor Day. Yeah, this happened on August 29th. He was delivering in Fremont, Ohio. He was on the ramp of 75 and whatever this one highway was that went from I-75 over towards Fremont. He was at the top of the ramp at the red light to turn. Went to go, nothing, just grinding. Ended up having to call a wrecker service. Well, I found a service. The guy asked me, hey, where were you going to have it towed to? I told him, I got a hold of a couple shops, this shop over here, because he was up there by Toledo or Perrysburg. The tow truck driver suggested I would take it down to Findlay, Ohio, to his 24-hour service down there. He's like, take it to who you want, but I know I have towed vehicles out of the Perrysburg location. Like, oh, okay, appreciate the info. Well, he was going to get to towing it. He said, yeah, I actually just rode past and I saw the driver sitting up there on the ramp, matter of fact. But then he was short-handed. He couldn't be able to get to it. I can't remember that tow driver's name. I may have it, actually. Let's see. Doo-dah. I might have wrote it down in my notebook here. I got that it was towed to, let's see, Robin Peyton. Yeah, it was Peyton at VJ's Towing up there in Perrysburg. He couldn't get to it. He was slammed, short-handed. So he actually got with Ed's Towing down there in Findlay, Ohio. So they actually came up and picked the truck up. Now they see. I'll be honest, y'all. I don't know squat about a truck. Now electronics and stuff, stereos and things like that, I can do a lot of that stuff. When it comes to motors and stuff like that, I'm not keen on all that mess. So when the tow driver got there, he had Jeffrey locked in the differential. He's like, because he had the big boy, because he had a loaded trailer, so he was sitting at freaking 79 plus. So he's like, with my wrecker, I will block this whole entire intersection. Trying to hook up. He's like, can you lock the divider and see if you can get it over the intersection onto the ramp on the other side, and then I can hook up there. Locked the differential, drove fine. Drove perfect fine. Like my brother said, that's not a good sign. If it rode fine with the freaking other axle locked in, that means your rear end's gone. Yep, it was a rear end gone. Guess what, y'all? Jeffrey spent 14 days in a hotel. 14 days in a hotel. Because they towed him on a Friday. Well, it's Friday before a 3-day weekend holiday. So they can't even get to even look at the truck until Tuesday. So that's Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. That's 4 nights in a hotel I've got to pay for before they can even look at the truck to verify what's wrong. Tuesday they got looking at, didn't have time to dig all into it on Tuesday. So Wednesday, yes, it's the rear end. Ordered a rear end from Weller, which Weller is the one who normally does all your rear ends. They sent one, he got the rear end in, guess what? Wrong rear end. He's like, how did they get this wrong? He's like, I gave him everything on the spec plate. They just sent the wrong one. Well, then guess what? Had to order another one. He got one and said, look, y'all sent the wrong one. I need the correct one. Y'all sent the wrong one. So they sent a second rear end. Guess what? One of the bolt holes on the housing was cracked. He's like, I can't use this. I can't tighten it down. It's like, it looks like somebody over tightened the bolt and cracked the freaking housing. He's like, you sent me a defective rear end. I can't use this. Now we got to wait on a third rear end. So I had to keep extending his hotel stays. So I spent a buku bit of money, kept extending his hotel stays. Luckily, I did put him in a hotel. There was one that was close by, S24, but I put him at one exit down. Because at least at that one, there was a lot more restaurants. So close to there, the hotel by the shop, that one only had like a racetrack and another convenience store. At least at the one where I put him, there was a Walmart across like a 6-lane divided highway he had to get across. But he had a Walmart, because I put him in a fridge with a microwave and refrigerator and all that. Coffee maker and all. And there were restaurants all around. But he had to walk. Or he could have got an Uber, I guess. But at least he was close by with food where he could at least stock up the fridge there. But, you know, you never really know how much to stock up, because we kept having to extend the hotel stay. So you don't go out and buy 2 weeks of supply of food, because you're thinking you're getting out of there in a couple of days. Because once you get a rear end, it's only a day. Because, like he said, only take me about 2 hours to get the rear end in, but then you got to seal it up and let it cure. Whenever you silicone the gasket and everything, you got to let that cure for 24 hours before you can refill it back up and then let it roll out. Put fluid to it and get the heat and all that. So had to let it cure. Well, we kept having to extend the stay because they kept sending the wrong ends, or then they sent a damaged rear end, and okay, now it's a weekend, so now you got to wait again. So we just kept having to extend the stay. It was pretty bad, y'all. It was pretty bad. But it's towing. Hey, they were great. They had a little mishap. They were training a new tow driver. Had a little mishap, but they got that fixed. We don't go into all the detail, but they made that right. So I mean, they're good. I can't say anything bad about S24 service. They're in Findlay. They're actually at 4404 Allen Township, Road 142 in Findlay, Ohio. Great people. The tow was let's see, $885 for the tow. I think there was a fuel surcharge on the tow. Somewhere there was something else. I can't remember, y'all. Or maybe they gave me a break on that. No, fuel surcharge on the tow was $177 for the fuel surcharge for the tow, plus $885 for the actual tow itself. So 3 labor hours at $2.95 an hour for the tow. Get them back down there. But yeah, 6 hours for the labor hours for the rear end. Then we had the rear end itself was $34.85. And of course, you know, your Permatex, your gasket, your gear oil, stuff like that. But then of course, you know, what you get everywhere now, you get the credit card processing fee. That was $285 for the credit card processing fee. And then, you know, it wasn't as bad as what I thought, because originally the estimate was higher. So maybe they gave me a break. Maybe they felt sorry for me because my driver had been in the hotel for 2 weeks. But either way, they were nice because it was a little bit lower. I was thinking it was going to be this huge, even huger bill, but it ended up not being. But it was still $63.76, not counting hotel fee. Yeah, not counting 2 weeks in a hotel. So yeah. So we spent a boatload of money for Jeffrey's truck. And now I have 2 weeks of no revenue on that truck, but I've got my own fuel card. So now that he's back out and running, I'm going to have that fuel coming out each week in fuel. But yet, I'm not going to have any revenue for it. So I've got no revenue going towards that. Plus, I just had to fork out, might as well say 10 grand, you know, for repairs, towing. Plus, I've got to pay him downtime. I've got to pay him something for the downtime. It's not his fault. But I've got no revenue coming in. No revenue for 2 weeks. We had to short the load because we had to have a driver come repower the load. So we lost money on the load itself, having to have it repowered for delivery. So we got paid, you know, close enough. So yeah, this has really been a bad couple weeks. So all my money that I'm making over here at Allchem on my personal side, that's having to be deposited into the business account to keep the business going. So that's the downside. If I was as the owner operator, I'd be making more, so I'd have more money to go towards the business account, I guess you could say. Well, I just noticed my button on my sleeve is it came out. Wow. Well, dang. But anyway, so yeah, that's the downside to being an owner operator, is breakdowns and repairs. So I have to say, I really miss the owner operator side. Granted, you get the stuff like this, but as an owner operator, I'd be making more and putting more in the bank to go towards this. So I'm having to use my personal paychecks and transfer from my personal account back into the business to keep this going. And I'll have another video later this week explaining something else of why I'm in this situation. I'll put that out later this week, of why I'm having to do all this. But some of you may already know. Some of you, my faithful followers who've been with me for a while, you'll know. Other than that, yeah, stay tuned, y'all. Anyway, I'm sitting here in Louisiana waiting to load. I got a load a kosher load, so I'm waiting. You got to wait for this one. Has to be rabbi supervision required on this load. So yeah, so I'm waiting for that. So you got to wait till your time's right. There are a whole bunch of trucks. Normally, with other loads here, I can load 24 hours in here, because I'm coming here at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, loading stuff, which I prefer. Y'all who know me, y'all know I love running night stuff, overnight stuff, and shut down in the morning. I prefer the overnight driving as opposed to this daytime crap. I'll admit, I missed this about paper mill. Paper mill, I ran a solid freaking night shift for over 3 months. That's all I ran, was a solid freaking night shift. I missed that. I absolutely miss the paper mills where it's a 24/7, I do 100% of the load and 100% of the unloads. I run night shift only. I start like 5:30, 5:45 at night, shut down in the morning. As everybody's leaving truck stops, I'm coming in to park. Never had to fight and worry about parking. Never had to pay for parking and stuff like that. Worry about that because it's easy to get in and out. Screensaver on the TV kicked in. Had the laptop tied in. But yeah, anyway, y'all. Hope everybody's having y'all a good, safe, blessed day. We'll catch you on this video, y'all. Peace out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.